will take the person.
Show the interpretation of a verse here.
لا يئسنا من المحيض اللي هي اللي كبرت ما عندهاش عادي. واللائي لم يحضن نوعين. لم يحضن لمرض. واحد عندها مرض يعني عندها مشاكل في الدورة الشهرية، عندها ما بيجيلهاش. تمام. ودي حالات نادرة جدا مش هسه. والحكم للغالب لسه مش هسه. تمام. واللائي لم يحضن جمهور المفسرين حضرتك أولهم ابن جرير الطبري.
Just to put you guys on the same page. This is here a Sunni interpretation of chapter 65 of Talaq, verse 4. So listen, I hope you've started reading, following the interpretation. Listen.
في تفسيرها المشهور كتاب زاد المسير لابن الجوزي. يعني كلام صحيح البخاري، كلام الفتح، كلام الحافظ في الفتح، كل ده بيقول انه الاتفاق على انه الكلام هنا على الصغيرة التي لم تبلغ الحيض بعد يجوز تزويجها وإن لم يحدث وفاق تطليقها، والشرع قال هذا فعدتها كذا. مين اللي قال الكلام ده؟ زي ما بقول لحضرتك كده، ولا لم يحدث الصغيرة، يعني الصغيرة اللي هي لم تبلغ الحيض يجوز. نعم. الكلام تزويجها. طبعا الكلام ليس كلامي، انما الكلام على ايه؟ يعني تبقى مثلا كم سنة يعني؟ 10 سنين، 9 سنين، 8 سنين. لم يتحدث الحقيقة لم يتحدث سن. لا الشريعة الإسلامية كلها. هات لي حد يقول لي اتحدد سن بيوم، سنة، 10، 15، 20. انت كده بقى انت ممكن وهي لسه طفلة بقى شهر أو شهرين بقى مش حتى.
Do you have any problem with this, Adam?
In 2018, recently an Egyptian girl passed away because of internal bleeding. Because she was only 11 and got married with over 30 years old boy. And the very next day of her wedding night, she was rushed to hospital. She stayed in hospital for 3 days and died. This is what Islam is teaching.
Okay. So that was Sheikh. That was Abu Yahya, who was just unpacking Surah 65, verse 4 for us. And then we got someone on the line. I'll just take the person in and then
That's me coming up. I called, of course.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, who are you, sir?
This is Ultimate Proof. No,
Are you a Christian, sir?
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له.
Does it sound like a Christian?
Such a shame. Can you just tell us, do you see there is any problem to having sex with a child?
It's a huge problem to be having sex with a child.
Can you unpack Surah 65 verse 4 for us, sir?
65 verse 4. Simple. Unless you're a pervert.
Exactly.
You'll be knowing that God is talking about women who sick, who never menstruated in their life.
Yes, sir.
They are over the age, of course, of having kids.
Sir, can you read Surah 65 verse 4 for us?
65 verse 4. I'm about it in a minute here. 63. I'm a little in the dark, you know. I'm chilling. 64. Don't have my glasses on. Verse 4. 65. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. As for the women who have reached menopause, if you have any doubts, as for those who do not menstruate, no, I jumped a line, sorry. I restart over. As for the women who have reached menopause, if you have any doubt, their interim shall be 3 months. have reached menopause, who have menstruated, who have stopped menstruating, they don't have any chance of having kids. They only wait for
Sir,
months.
sir, I can see you feel that Allah failed with the communication. Therefore, you feel there is a need for you to kind of fill the gaps. But all I did ask you so far is to read the verse. Can you please read the verse for me?
I just read it.
Without your commentaries, sir.
Okay, let me read it again. 65 verse 4. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. As for the women, I think we're going to put it on context, okay? We're going to read verse 2. At least put it on context a little bit.
Sir,
Because
sir,
She does not want that.
just read verse 4 for us.
No context.
oh, you don't like it?
Context after we do the first part.
No
I know
context.
you're seeking refugee from Satan. It didn't work for Mohammed. I don't think it's going to work for you either. Just focus Surah 65 verse
She's
4.
trying to
Can you
find a
read
way
it,
to hang
please?
up. I'm not
It's
letting
on the
her.
screen as well.
That's all
Yes.
she's looking for right now.
Miserable.
Yep.
As for the women who have reached menopause, in case you don't know what menopause means,
Why are you adding stuff? Just read the verse.
I gotta define because I know
No,
she's.
don't define. Just read the verse once. Then you can define.
I
As
just
for the women who
What?
have reached
watch.
menopause, if you have any doubts, their interim shall be 3 months. As for those who do not menstruate and discover that they are pregnant, their interim ends upon giving birth.
You are lying.
Anyone, shut the fuck up, let me read. Anyone
That's what I
What's
do
your
with this
language? What's your
faggot.
language?
that not anything, let me read the verse.
You are not reading the
Uh,
verse.
Adam, just a second. Adam, just a
Yeah,
second.
he hung up on me.
Mr. Muslim, you are gonna wait there for a while
It's not gonna be a
because
while.
of the language you
I'm gonna
use.
come and debunk you.
That is not acceptable towards my guests.
Your guess is a
I
liar.
saw your name before in this channel's live streams. You do know that rule. So once you pull yourself together, come back. Okay? I am afraid to tell you that even though you seek refuge from Shaitan, but didn't help you. So, Adam, brother,
I'll
should
read
be
the
able
verse.
to read
Yeah,
it
I'll
for
read
us?
the verse. Because he added in the middle very cunningly some stuff, and I know him.
Listen.
I have talked with him,
Listen.
and he has been
I,
demolished by.
I don't care your relationships with him.
Okay.
That's not my
Let me just
business.
read it. Let me just read it.
My point is that
Yes.
language is not acceptable in my life.
I am perfectly fine.
She's
I'm
even
with others.
insulting them.
And those who no longer expect menstruations among your women, if you doubt, then their period is 3 months. And those who have not menstruated, and for those who are pregnant, their term is until they give birth. And whoever fears Allah, He will make for him of this matter ease.
So, Mr. Muslim, read the first part as the menopause.
Yes.
Let's sake of the argument, my biology is very bad, even though I am woman,
Listen.
and I know what woman is.
No, you don't.
What is menopause? Can 3 years old?
I told you, like, when I started reading, I said, okay, for those of women who reach menopause, I tried to explain. And Adam Seeker jumped on me. I said, in case you do not know what menopause means, I was going to explain what menopause means. I was going to save Hatun the shame of not knowing what menopause means. Now she's asking, listen to the dumb questions of a woman asking about menopause. If a 3-year-old girl can be in menopause. Hatun Tash is asking that. Ya'uz billah.
Who is not bleeding yet? Can she has a menopause? Can she's been in menopause?
3 years old.
I don't think so.
He said, I don't
You
think
don't
so.
think so?
You don't think so?
What
Or you
about
sure
your,
of so?
Recent answers.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, what kind of woman have menopause?
Listen to that.
Can actually starts to grow eggs
What?
biologically in her body.
Start to grow eggs. Starts to grow eggs biologically. Listen.
Your mom, my mom,
Listen.
women who are older. Okay?
Hold on. Listen.
And the second part of the woman, what kind of woman group is that?
Who has not menstruated yet.
You hear that?
The Arabic is very clear. This says who have not menstruated, but it,
Who said women that are in menopause that have not menstruated yet. They have menstruated all their life. They have stopped menstruating. Liar.
says lam yuhidna, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Lam yuhidna have not menstruated yet.
This
Like,
is-
they never menstruated.
Yes, this is the second part of the verse. They never menstruated, beside them having reached the age of puberty. Right now they're adults. They should be menstruating, but they're not menstruating. That's what we're talking about. But little girls, listen.
Lam,
Yeah,
not lam,
that's,
never.
that's fine. So one of them is expressed as the menopause, other one is not yet bleeding yet.
Yes.
So let's take Mr. Muslim again. I'll give him another chance. Sir, if your language really no good, I won't allow you to stay here. Just be aware of it, okay? Hello, sir.
Yeah, the rules should be just the same. I'm reading the verse, he's cutting me off. And I'm doing nothing to him.
Sir, would you read the verse for us again?
No, I'm going to comment on what he said. I'm going to debunk his lies.
Sir, would you read the verse for me?
I read the verse, I'm going to debunk his lies.
Sir, would you read?
Did I not read the verse? Did I or not read the verse? I did. But she just trying to hang up. But I'll find a way not to make her hang up. I read the verse.
Read the verse for us.
He just lied. I'm going to fix that up. I'll read the verse.
On a
Why would I read
YouTube
the verse
channel.
again?
So that people can hear the word of Allah. Just read it
I
for
will
us.
read the verse three times.
You
I'm
failed
going
to
to
read.
debunk. He lied, saying that he said those
Sir,
who...
can you please read verse for me?
Why would I read it again? I did. Twice.
Sir,
All right, I
my
do.
channel, my rules.
I do
Read
it.
the verse
55
for me.
verse 4.
Read the verse for me.
I do it again.
Listen.
Thank you.
As for the women, in the plural, who have reached menopause, they lied on the definition, both of them.
Yep.
If you have any doubts, their interim shall be 3 months. Sorry, somebody called me. As for those who do not menstruate and discover that they are pregnant, women who never menstruate and all of a sudden they're pregnant. That happened. You've seen it.
Okay,
She
sir.
won't let me.
Okay, thank you.
See that? I'm reading the verse. I'm in the middle of the verse. I'm in the middle of the verse. She gonna cut me off. Watch. That's her.
Thank you for butchering the word of Allah.
That's
Can you please
Christians.
point me out?
That's Christians.
So you identified so far 2 groups of women. First one is those ones who are not who are in menopause, and then second ones who are not bleeding but they figured out they are pregnant. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you please support your claim? Where does it say that? Because I've got in front of you, I don't know if your eyes are open and seeing the screen. It says, okay, and those who have not menstruated, and for those who are pregnant. It seems to me, and I believe it seems to my 2 brothers, that it is altogether talking about 3 groups of women. Can you please support your case? How did you come to conclusion that the girls who are not bleeding yet become pregnant?
Oh, you said girls. So in Arabic, I thought you guys can distinguish Nisa, a woman, and a Jariya, a little girl. I thought if you say
Just answer my
Look at
question.
this.
I'm
Look at this.
answering your damn questions. You know I'm about to clear you. You are cutting me off.
Can you
I am-
please?
You asking me why? That's what I do.
Conclusion,
That's what I
why
do. I
he's
expose them.
talking about only two groups of women.
I'm telling you that right now. That's what I'm explaining. I'm explaining the verses. How can you say a woman, a baby girl, you're talking about women, only women can stop menstruating. A baby girl is not menstruating, is not. You're a woman after you become, if you menstruate, you're a woman already. That's what made a woman, on the side. Before that, you're a baby. So how can God say woman and you're talking about a baby? That's how wicked you people are.
Okay.
God said if you menopause, you already had.
Look,
So I heard your point. You
this
don't need to
Imra'ah,
cry.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
look,
You don't need to
she,
cry.
she's
Let me finish
looking,
about menopause.
she's searching.
No,
Let me finish about the two groups.
She won't let me.
Sir,
Anissa,
that's not
Let
the
me
question.
please.
That's
Let me
not
talk about the menopause.
I'll ask you.
she
Hold
won't.
on.
Let me be.
Sir,
She won't let
pull
me.
yourself together.
She knew.
Go ahead, go ahead.
She
Go
knew
ahead,
about.
Abdul.
I'm about to cook
Go
her.
ahead.
Can you just unpack for me this?
لا يئسنا من المحيض اللي هي الكبرت ما عندهاش محيض. ايوه.
I watched it.
واللائي لم يحضنا نعيد.
I watched the video too. You just put it up.
عندها مرض يعني
Why waste the
عندها
time?
مشاكل في الدورة
Comment on.
الشهرية عندها ما بتجيلهاش تمام ودي حالات نادرة جدا مش هسه والحكم للغالب ليس الشاذ تمام واللائي لم يحضنا.
She didn't have to do this. I already watched the video. I could have forwarded, but I'm using Mobizan,
زاد المسير
so
ابن الجوزي.
I'm just gonna let it play.
يعني كلام صحيح البخاري كلام الفتح كلام الحافظ في الفتح كل ده بيقول انه الاتفاق على انه الكلام هنا على الصغيرة التي لم تبلغ الحيض بعد يجوز تزويجها وإن لم يحدث وفاق تطليقها والشرع قال هذا فعدتها كذا. مين اللي قال الكلام ده زي ما بقول لحضرتك كده ولا لم يحدث؟ الصغيرة يعني الصغيرة اللي هي لم تبلغ الحيض يجوز. نعم. الكلام طبعا الكلام ليس كلامي انما الكلام على ايه؟ يعني
That's sad.
يعني مثلا
I'm just gonna turn the volume
10
down.
سنين 9 سنين 8 سنين لم يتحدث.
I'm turn the volume down and talk about this. This is Sunni interpretation, perversion. This pervert interpreting the verse that way. God is not talking about kids, sisters and brothers. This is not Islam. Okay? We're going to talk about this. Hold on.
Why I disagree, right? Correct?
Okay, so you disagree, correct? I'm doing step one step. So you disagree with what has been said so far.
Of course.
Okay, so you disagree position of the Quran, you disagree position of Tabari.
Not the position of the Quran.
Correct?
Listen, don't play like a little girl. You let me comment on this.
No question,
You let me. You kept on asking some little questions like a. That's ridiculous.
You disagree with Tabari, Bukhari, and all of the names mentioned in this video, correct?
Disagree, and then why? And let me speak.
That's it.
Give me argument. That's it.
Sir, I told you I'm going step by step. So you disagree. Okay, why do you disagree?
See?
That's
He
it.
just came back.
Dumbass.
I'm gonna disagree. First of all, if anybody tells you these people, Hatun and Sam Shamoon and David Wood, have agreed on this and that, you know it's a lie. We don't agree upon anything.
Do you have an actual argument?
See?
Do you have an argument that isn't attacking people?
I didn't attack anybody.
You're,
This dumb guy, I didn't attack anybody. All I was saying is, if Hatun and David Wood and Sam Shamoon and Christian Prince, is that because they agreed upon something that is going to go against Christianity? No. Wherever there's an agreement, it's showing that that's not the law. Law does not require agreement. The law is the law, agreement or not. If one guy is following the law, he's following the law. If the whole rest of the world is agreeing on following something else, that's their problem. Who cares about agreement? That was my point. And the dumb ass did not understand. Sorry about vocabulary.
is your argument that because Christians said this, it must be a lie?
No.
Because Christians can recite the Quran. Does that make the Quran a
Look,
lie?
you see that?
If not,
You see the dummy? Christians are reciting the Quran. Is that going to make the Quran right? A lie? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that it's not because there is an agreement between Bukhari and At-Tabari and whoever that is going to be the truth. Agreements means nothing. Tell me this is what your God have revealed. That's the truth. That's the ilm Allah is talking about. That's the knowledge. The knowledge is what Allah is talking about in his books. Nothing else. Anything else is a lie. Ma kana hadithan yuftara. This hadith here, this Quran is not fabricated. Any other hadith other than the Quran or the books of Allah are fabricated. Simple as that.
Just get to your point, sir.
You cut me off.
My point is, the argument in this video is that At-Tabari and Bukhari and whoever has agreed up. Why would there be an agreement? The truth is the truth. A plane is a plane. Exactly. If anybody, any 20 people decide to make a plane, no, from now on we're gonna call a plane a car, that's their damn problem.
Exactly.
But just listen to what you're reading and to what you're listening. Use your freaking brains.
Do you have an argument?
That's the argument. The argument to anybody.
The argument is to use your brain. Well, my brain tells me that the professional Arabic translators know what they're doing.
My brain is telling me I'm translating the verse for you right now. They know what they're doing.
Why should I take your word for it, opposed to all the professional translators who are Muslims, by the way, and the continual history of Muslim scholar after Muslim scholar after Muslim scholar reading this verse? Why should I take your word for something as opposed to every classical Muslim's opinion about this verse?
Because the minimum that you should be able to know is to distinguish between the word called a woman and a baby. A woman and a kid.
Exactly. Shut the hell up.
If you cannot distinguish those two, if they're talking about a woman, if the verse cannot be clear enough to be saying, anybody, if here we're talking about the kids who did not reach the menstruations yet. People for 1,400 years are discussing it. No, that's perverts who want to use.
Okay, every classical Muslim scholar is a pervert.
Exactly.
You just said that every classical Muslim scholar is a pervert. I just want to make your position clear.
Anybody says
okay.
I will say it clearly. Anybody interpreted the verse, interprets the verse as marrying young kids that did not reach the age of menstruation is a pervert. This is talking about grown-ass women that have problems menstruating. Perverts.
All the Muslims who transmitted the Quran to you are perverts. Continue.
That's what. See, we said all the Muslims who have transmitted the Quran. Nobody transmitted the Quran to me. Allah brought the Quran to me. Whomever it might reach. The Prophet Muhammad said, وَأُوحِيَ إِلَيَّ هَذَا الْقُرْآنُ لِإِنذِرَكُمْ بِهِ وَمَنْ بَلَغَ. This Quran has been revealed to me to preach it to you and whomever it might reach. He never said who and wherever you might take it. No, it might reach. God is taking it. God said, إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا الذِّكْرَ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. We are the one that revealed this book and we will protect it. So God is protecting his book and nobody gonna claim that's what the Sunnis say. Oh yes, we have memorized it. Memorize it. You always make a mistake. Nobody can memorize the Quran the way it should be. No, not one person.
He transmitted the Quran to me. Allah said, "Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafizun." Allah gave it, and he's the one that's gonna preserve it. My real God. My God will have proven to you, I can prove to you right now that my book is from God.
Sir, can you shush for a second?
He's digressing. He's digressing.
So I want to believe that your God is a good communicator. I am quite happy to confront it on this if I am false, but I want to believe that your God is a good communicator.
Yes, sir.
In Surah 65, verse 4, are you telling me your God is talking about two groups of women? One of them are the ones like in your mother's age. Other group is the girls who are not bleeding turn out to be pregnant. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So while Allah tried to say that, Brother Adam, would you be kind enough and then pull the actually let me pull the verse from here.
I can pull the verse. No worries.
Okay, yeah.
No. I got a comment on the verse. I got a comment on the
So pull
You
yourself
asked-
together. I am
No,
giving
let
you
me comment on the
time.
verse.
It says,
I am giving you time. Just shush. I'm gonna give you time to comment on the verse.
Rude.
Okay?
Why can't I do it now?
It is on the screen now. Okay? So, can you please point out for me, okay, your qualifications for Arabic that I discredit this translation, which is identified as the Sahih International, who is talking about 3 groups of women, and I'll take your translation.
What? Go. Or you wanna know who I go to Rashad Khalifa's translation, or go to any,
Sir, all I asked you was a very simple question. Why should I trust your translation and get rid of Sahih International translation?
It's not
Sahih
about.
International is
Let me
talking
answer.
about 3 groups of women.
Let me answer.
And the Sheikh
You asked a question.
on the screen was talking about children. So
Can I answer the question now?
I haven't finished my question. Are you not aware? Between my sentences, I am putting comma, not the dot. When I put the dot, I will turn to you. Just wait.
When she put the dot, it's going to be the end of her question. A question ending with a dot. Dumbass. Question mark. Question ends with dot.
Why should I? Where are your where are your Arabic qualifications that I need to discredit these translations and then take your translation as well as discredit all of the tafsirs and then take your word for this?
All right.
Your turn.
All right. So you came back to the question. The first thing anybody used to, before anything, before knowing translations, Arabic or anything, is to at least know a minimum of every, which I do know a minimum of a plenty of languages. Is to know that if 2 words are used in a book, women and children, I gotta know what a Jariya is, I gotta know what the Nisa is. And Nisa, if God will show me 1 verse in the Quran that contains the word Nisa, and where you can translate it as a kid, that is your women, talking about men married to the women, to the Muslims, women and men and women, talking about adults, not about kids. God have a word for kids and have a word for adults. If God is speaking adults, let's be adult. Now, the 2 situations out there. One who menopaused. What are we expecting from one who menopaused? Not to be having kids, right? Right. The other one is the one who is not menstruating. Never. He just don't menstruate. He just never had, he ain't bleeding. What are we expecting from that one? Even though they did not reach the menopause, we expecting the same thing that we are expecting from the menopaused. Right?
Can you repeat
Let
that?
me, no. You want me to repeat it?
Yes, please.
I will repeat it. What we expecting from a woman who is menopaused is to not have kids any longer. It's over. She's done. She have the job done. It's over. If she happened to have a kid, that'd be a miracle. You understand? That's menopause. We are expecting her not to have kids anymore.
Okay.
The second situation is a situation of a woman who never bleeded in her life. She just don't bleed. She just don't menstruate. And nobody, the same way we're not expecting a menopausal woman to be having kids, we are not expecting her to be having kids.
So What
Because
kind of age groups would that be? Like, let's
it does
say,
not matter. Of
woman in
course,
their 40s.
she's not. We don't know. Under the age of
I'm trying to understand.
under the
So,
age.
did you say?
You want to let
We
me speak?
estimate
So, just I'm trying to understand. Would you say age 40 would be in that group?
I will say we all know about menopause. Some are 40. Listen,
I understood
anything on the menopause.
They
That's
can't listen.
anything on the menopause.
I understood the point of menopause.
The second group is before menopause. Before menopause.
So we are talking about, like, let's say, women in their 40s.
Women that can procreate. Women that 18, 19, 20, 30, 35, 38. They can. They're not menopaused yet. They still are menstruating. They're able to
They're
have
not
kids,
menstruating.
but they're not bleeding.
Yes,
Okay.
they're not.
Are they menstruating or not? You just said they're still menstruating.
You know that was a
You have
little mistake,
They are not bleeding,
dumbass.
and they are still able to have kids.
Yes, they're in the age of having kids, but they never bled.
Exactly.
They don't think.
They don't menstruate.
So just a second.
They're over the age of
Man, Allah,
puberty.
you tried.
Calm down.
They're before.
Calm down.
Allah, wallahi, Allah have tried,
You don't have to
man.
yell. You don't have to yell. They're simple questions. Just give us a simple answer.
You cannot think, man. You following the Bible that say 4 people fight.
We're not talking about the Bible.
Bible.
All right.
This is part of the Quran. This is not the Bible. Not the Bible.
Why are you talking about Islam?
Exactly.
You're losing your time.
So
Wasting your
so
time.
dangerous, and then it blinds its followers.
What
Mohammed
is not dangerous?
and child protection.
They have no comments on that.
So dangerous.
They're
Still,
stunned.
followers are so dangerous.
I'm gonna call again.
Jesus Christ,
Of course, they're gonna kick me out.
including Muslims.
I'm gonna
and
call
those
again.
Muslims are following Mohammed, and they are gonna end.
I'm gonna call again. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna call again because David would be here in a minute. I'm gonna pause this.
Is able to become pregnant. Can you please explain that to me?
The same way the menopause woman.
I don't know that.
Can have
way.
kids.
Explain it to me.
Anytime. Who knows? Who? We've seen it all. Are you in this world? Are you in this freaking world?
She's asking me, how can a woman that is not bleeding be pregnant? Like, meaning the woman that is after menopause, that already menopaused, and a woman who have reached the age of puberty, did not reach the age of menopause yet, but is not menstruating. How can they have? She want me to explain to her how that happened. It's happening. That's what God is talking about, and God is taking care of it in His book. Ridiculous.
Apuntas does not know that a woman who have stopped bleeding have had kids all around the freaking world.
Exactly.
You are ignorant.
Yep.
It seems things are very
Damn.
much different. So,
Ignorance.
Yes.
Type it up on YouTube. Go to YouTube. Type it. Look it up. Look it up on YouTube right now. Live. Do it.
Brother Adam
Yes.
Sika, can you please help me?
They're gonna lie, of course. I'm gonna go to the debate with what's his name? David Wood gonna jump in a minute here. Hold on. The truth is here.
Okay. I salam to peace to all of you. I hope.
Sir,
See,
sir,
Oh
just
my
wait.
it starts.
Just wait. Just wait.
أعوذ
Are
بالله
you
من الشيطان. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Well, Allah didn't help you a little bit early. I don't think He's gonna help you again. So, David Wood was asking the question of Surah 65, verse 4. I am
Yep.
sure you've been waiting there, so you all heard those references. What are your thoughts?
I thought I hope David was here earlier. I hope you didn't cut me off the stream because you didn't have answers. The verse is clear.
They always high.
I think they're weed. I think the couple. I'm sorry. I know you smoke a lot of weed and shit, but control yourself. You're high. Please, the couple. You're too high every time.
What are you rambling about?
I'm rambling.
After a 65-4.
I'm rambling about this woman here, the couple on the top. I am facing 7 Christians. She always rambling. She always laughing. She always saying something. They hide. Always hide. Look at them. They always hide. They always talk slow, high on something. They need to shut up.
I'm trying to make.
I believe you were cut off the first time for attacking people instead of making a point, and then you come in here.
No,
and
I
start
just showed it.
attacking people.
I just showed that I didn't attack nobody. Liar. I just showed you that I didn't attack nobody. Matter of fact, there's a woman, a Christian woman that came after me. Yes, we're going to have to go back to that. That talked about the same verse, showing them that the verse is not talking about children, but women. Liars. Listen. I'm going to let them talk.
I was listening, waiting for him to get to the point. He started saying about people being high, and then I realized he's probably talking about me.
He was talking about you. He's talking about you.
See? This is the proof of Christianity. I said the couple. This dummy did not know I was talking about him and his wife. Now, this is Christianity. I just speak clearly, talking about a couple. David would, yes, understood. I guess the other ones maybe as hesitating. Or maybe one of them is thinking, oh, you got Hatun in the other guy, that's a couple too. Maybe I was talking about them too. Or maybe too, David Wood and the other man, since we got gays now, they're a couple too. Which couple he's talking about? Maybe that's what he's wondering. He's wondering which couple I'm talking about. There's one couple here, that's him and his wife.
He's talking to the couple. That's you two. You're the only couple there.
Exactly.
Why?
That's the process of elimination that I went through. Oh, I guess he's talking about us.
See?
Because I laughed.
See?
Because he was like, you kicked me off because you didn't have
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna cut.
That's why you guys are eating so much cake.
Yes. He's telling them you're smoking weed. That's what David is telling them.
Isn't this interesting though? We sit here, we talk, and some issues come up, and we say what the Muslim sources say.
Mhm.
And they call us liars, and then we say,
Yes,
hey, come
you're
on,
liars.
come on, show us where we're wrong. And then, Truth Finder, he just makes some stuff up, and then admits he's wrong and tries to change the subject.
I don't know who's Truth Finder.
Hey, you smoke weed, you're all high, you're all high. It's like, what is
David, I know you be watching that thing, that meme of LeBron James' son talking about, oh, he's 6'2"? He's 6'2"? Oh, man, oh, you born 6'11", oh, high. You're trying to imitate him. They cut me off. I said, yes, you be smoking weed. And that's not the first time. This is the second time I meet them. The last week they was there on the Prophet birthday, and they did the same. And this time they did the same again. So...
this religion?
Man, it doesn't make people to think that much, seems.
I come back.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Are you ready to make your case regarding Surah 65, verse 4?
That's how I was doing till I got interrupted by some laughs. So
You were.
all right, there you go again. There you go again.
There you go.
All right, let's read the verse. Let's just read and explain the verse. It's so simple. I know David have seen my comment talking to Emma about just how can anybody think that you are just close your eyes and imagine it.
Please.
In the whole world, everybody listen to this.
Please. Listen.
They are putting here a case scenario of a little girl that got married once and divorces and got married again, and she still did not reach the age of menstruations.
Get it?
If this can sit in your head, you find
That's ridiculous.
a girl that got married, got divorced, got married again, and she still did not reach the age of menstruation. Subhanallah. God is talking about the first, let's read the verse, 65 verse 4. That's
Put the link in the chat.
Allah.
She always
May
gonna,
Allah guide you.
Sir, put the link in the chat, please.
always gonna
65
cut.
verse,
Put the link in the chat.
our link. 65. I'm reading a book.
Just reading it from the book.
I'm reading from my book.
What translation?
Rashad Khalifa.
Khalifa.
Oh,
the guy who was killed. The guy who was killed is a heretic.
First of all, translations does not matter. The best translations is the most honest translation. That's it. Translation, nothing else. Translate the book. Don't add any explanation. Don't add anything. وَأَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكَ آيَاتٌ بَيِّنَاتٌ وَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِهَا إِلَّا الْفَاسِقُونَ. I have revealed to you so crystal clear verses. Only fasiq say that it's not, say otherwise, say that it's not clear. So translate. Anybody translate the Quran, the most fiddle, the most serious one are the best translations. It's not the Arabs. I don't care. As long as you can understand two languages, Arab plus another language, you can.
Is it Arabic? Is it Arabic or not?
No,
Okay.
reading a translation.
Okay, just let's read the verse, please.
Okay.
And or any other translation you want. We can take the word to word. And a Christian lady earlier,
Yes.
Emma, it's her name, brought her earlier a word to word translation that says the same exact thing that Rashad Khalifa is saying. So, okay, just let me read the verse.
He denied,
Let me
right?
read it.
He denied, right? I'm gonna put it after that. He denied, saying the same thing that what I'm about to say. Listen.
Let me read the verse. Let me read it. As for the woman, as for the woman who reached menopause, if you have any doubt, their interim shall be 3 months. And for those who do not menstruate and discover that they are pregnant, their interim ends upon giving birth. Anyone who reverences God, he makes everything easy for him. This is the verse I read. Now, you denied the other guy saying that it was not the age of marriage in the Quran. He was laughing, of course. I was laughing over here. It was not the age of
They were
maturity
just
in
laughing.
the Quran.
They were just laughing. They said, show us one verse in the Quran talking about the age of maturity or age of marriage in the Quran. And we will become Muslim right now. The guy here, what's his name? Hussein, on the left said that. And I just quoted them, 4:6 and 4:127. They will not even dare to put the verse out there or to talk, even mention it. They just acted like I never mentioned those two verses. Listen.
Okay, go ahead and read 4:127 and read in 4 verse 6.
That's it.
Please,
They
any translation you want. I can read from here. Subhanallah. If the orphan reach the age of marriage,
Okay.
reaches the age of marriage,
Is it in the Quran?
test her. See if she can handle business.
Exactly.
If she succeeded, give her her money that you be keeping for her for years since her dad passed away.
Exactly.
Subhanallah. You saying there's no age and there is no maturity, there's no age of marriage. The verse is talking, if you can analyze, just think a little bit. The first section, the alinea 1, that talks about menopause, that woman who cannot have menstruation any longer, right?
Exactly.
Menopause.
Yep.
And the second part is talking that woman that still cannot have menstruations even though they have reached the age of puberty.
That's the two exceptions
Past the age
to the rule.
they cannot have menstruations.
Exactly.
The other ones cannot have it because they have reached the age, that's menopause.
Yep.
The other ones that do not have it, beside not having reached the age of menopause. Subhanallah. Look how beautiful this is. In those two cases, in the two case scenarios, God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you, you got to see it the same way. Nobody expecting them to be having kids. And nobody expect anybody who sees the menopause to having a kid. It's a miracle, and nobody expects anybody that cannot menstruate to have a kid. If they do have a kids, miraculously, their thing starts immediately after they give birth. Subhanallah, that's beautiful. Don't be lying on the Quran. Don't be lying on, don't think that Mohammed Hijab here, this, that, this, there. Read the Quran. And
Oh, sorry. Just to finish it up, the verse is clear. The verse is talking about two things because the rule is already set in chapter 2, verse 228. For the regular woman, regular, normal woman who have reached the age of puberty, they're menstruating, married, they're having kids. Okay? They don't have problems menstruating. They don't reach the age of menopause. They have passed the age of puberty. Grown woman. For those, it's 3 menstruations. 3 menstruations. Not 3 months, 3 menstruations. You know the difference. I might have said that already. I thought I had it in pause. I didn't have it in pause. I don't know. So I just want to make sure it's in the video. It's 3 menstruations for the regular woman who already can have kids and already had kids. If they divorce, it's 3 menstruations. 3 menstruations does not mean 3 months necessarily. No. Some women are having 3 menstruations in 9 months. They're having a menstruation every 2 months and a half. Some women do. Some women having it every 20 some days, 22 days, 21 days. So some women having 3 menstruations in 2 months. So we've seen it all. So for the regular woman, that's 3 menstruations. Now you got 2 exceptions. It's not an exception to be a kid. No, a kid is not. That's the rule. A kid cannot have kids. He's not being married. So the 2 exceptions is the one who have reached menopause. Normally they have no kids, no more kids, and the one who never bleeded, the one who never menstruated, that one too normally shouldn't be having kids. If they do have kids, that happens. We've seen it all around the world. That's what I was remaining that ignorant. What's her name? Hatun, that did not know what even menopause means. That's ridiculous. So we've explained and defined. All Muslims, all Sunni Muslims, Shia Muslims, this verse is not talking about kids. Mohammed Hijab, shame on you. You said Islam, you said in the Quran, if you go by the Quran, we can marry a 1-year-old baby. God is talking about An-Nisa. I explained him. An-Nisa, women. Not kids, not jariyas, An-Nisa. God is talking about those who cannot see their blood. A lot of women, they're 30, 40, they never menstruate. They have problems all around the world. That's what God is talking about. They have passed the age of the age of puberty. Then between the puberty and menopause, they're cool. They should be able to have kids. They don't even menstruate. That's the second case. The first case, that those who, you see, is the first case is those who have menstruated and have stopped menstruating. And the other one, that's those who should be menstruating but still cannot menstruate, even though they did not reach yet the age of menopause. They did never menstruated. So for those 2 groups, that's what God is talking about. God is not talking about kids. The verse start with with women and Nisa, not children, women. May Allah preserve us. I think it's clear, sisters and brothers. The verse, once again, is talking about woman, first member of the phrase. God said about the iddah, how long you going to stay at home, you woman, without going anywhere. If you divorce, if you have reached the age of, menopause, it's 3 months if you divorce. if you never had kids, you never menstruated, never did. Let's say you're 35, you never menstruated. All of a sudden you're pregnant. You see, they take you as somebody who have menopause. God never said three menstruations as in chapter 2 verse 228. No, he said just like here, when you give birth, it's immediately right there, because you are being taken as an exception. It's like you were menopause, but you just happen to have a kid, even though you never menopause, but even though you never reached the age of menopause, but you never menstruated. It's like you menopaused. There's a menstruations, so you are being treated as that. Exceptionally, you had a kid. You only can have regular kids regularly when you're menstruating. Now, exceptionally, you might have kids even though you never menstruated before or after menopause. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Those are liars. The verse is clear. Now, the Sunni Muslims, the Shia Muslims, they're marrying kids. They're saying the case scenario here, that's the question I ask them. They never reacted to that. How can you imagine a young girl that did not menstruate yet is married and divorced and married again, and she still did not menstruate yet? Maybe the marriage lasted 2 weeks, and there's no one record in the world anybody marrying a young girl and divorcing it within maybe at least 10 years, not 2 weeks, because they love them little girls, even though it's prohibited for them to be marrying them. So God is not talking about that. God is talking about adult people who are sick, who got some kind of diseases that cannot menstruate regularly, do not have menstruations. Sometimes they happen to be having things or being pregnant. If they are pregnant, they gotta wait till they give birth. Soon as they give birth, they can remarry. That's it. I mean, their period starts right there at on the day they give birth. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. May Allah bless us. May Allah enlighten us. The hadith, I called the Dawah team the other day. I said, every single one of you is running sometimes away from some hadiths. Hadith is wrong. Quran, that's all we gotta follow. Quran alone. Allah alone. Quran alone. وإذا ذكر الله وحده وإذا ذكرت ربك في القرآن وحده. وإذا ذكر الله وحده اشمئزت قلوب الذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة. If you preach God alone, Allah, they're mad. وإذا ذكرت ربك في القرآن وحده, if you use the Quran alone, ils sont pas contents. They're not happy. They run away from the Quran alone. Then they run away from Allah alone. Allah alone, His book alone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.